I melt a lot of glass.
So how did you get into all this glass making?
I went up to Door County for a weekend, and there was a gentleman up there at the old Tannenbaum shop, and he had this beautiful snowman plate, and I really liked it, but it was very expensive. And so I was saying, oh, I love this. This is just beautiful work. And he says, you could do that. And he stood there and talked to me for almost an hour. And I said, well, how would I do that? And he goes, well, find a place that teaches glass fusing by you. Then all you have to do is buy a kiln, and then you get the class. And I really liked it. Oh, it was a lot of fun. And then I took the second class, and I said, well, that's it, I'm done. I need to buy a kiln. So I went and bought a kiln, and I have probably about 3,000 or 4,000 pieces of glass all around my house. Wow. That are going to be made into jewelry, or they're what I consider mistakes or other stuff. And then you can mosaic with your mistakes, or you can put them back in the kiln and remelt them and make something else. Like I made a plate out of all mistakes, and it was the biggest selling plate I ever had. And it was just like, okay. Wow. So, and sometimes, since I work for the school system, at the end of the year, I usually take in my less than perfect stones. Sometimes I cold work them and grind them to make them nice and smooth and edges. Or sometimes they go back in, like this one. This is a what we call ice, and you can see that it's rough on one side. It's got pieces, and it goes back in a second time to put the second layer of glass on, and then you do a dimensional fuse, so it's a 3D type piece of jewelry, and it's real fun. There's another one here that's like that as well, and you can see this is dichroic glass. Dichroic glass.
Dichroic.
And this is dichroic.
All the shimmery stuff.
All the real shimmery stuff, the real pretty stuff.
Oh, neat. Oh.
And so what you do with this is that you support the top. It's just one big piece, and then it melts down and goes to the bottom. And you just put the glass in there, and it just melts. This one's probably my favorite because people just love to touch it.
Yeah.
And they want to try to...
The texture.
Yeah. Texture's great. So. And so you can eat off all of these. I've dropped them on the floor, and since they're properly annealed, they usually want glassmaker blogs, and people willingly share lots of ideas. Your glassmakers do as well. And so they go, try this or try that. And the new thing right now is glass clay. You mix glass with a very finely ground glass, and it gives you a relief mold, like some people are doing, like shells or things like that. Like this one would probably be worthwhile wire wrapping. And then you have to decide whether you want it landscape or portrait. But there's all kinds of different things you can do. You can put, like this one has a decal in it, and it looks like a butterfly floating. And then this one has dichroic glass plus copper screen. And then these are copper cutouts. So I do it all year round, and I get together with a group of my friends, and we bead, and I supply them with cabochons, or we do patterns, and we're going to be having a jewelry show in November. And it's going to be all of us doing all of our jewelry stuff, and then I usually furnish the plates that we put the jewelry on, and we put white rice, and then put the jewelry in there.